Sanji said, Mars, can you expound when you said Paul George was a top 5 wing defender in his peak in the modern era?
I think Indiana Pacers Paul George to be 6'7", 6'8", and be probably the best screen navigator I've ever seen at that size. For an Indiana Pacers team that exclusively had to play drop coverage because of Roy Hibbert. And shout out to Roy Hibbert, who was an elite defender at that time. But his ability to fight through screens, get over screens, his ability to chase shooters, the versatility, whether he picks up at the point of attack or he's chasing off-ball players. The fact that he was able to provide tertiary rim protection at 6'8". He was able to alter shots, but he's also able to play passing lanes. There really wasn't anything Paul George couldn't do defensively other than guard like legitimate bigs. But because Indiana didn't switch a lot, they didn't need to. And because he was so good at getting over screens, he didn't need to switch. But because he was just so versatile in terms of the array of matchups he could guard on the perimeter and how good those Pacers defenses were, in large part because of his contributions on the wing, I have a hard time saying there's many wing defenders at their peak who are better.
Now, when are we talking about, Mars? Because he broke his leg in 15, right? And I think 16 he sat out the season. So Paul George's peak, what are we looking at? Like 17?
Defensively. 13 and 14. Those are the years I'm talking about.
13 and 14. So those years are with, let's see, James was in the league at that time, Leonard. I'm thinking about wing defenders, right? That's what I'm thinking about more than anything. I'm not thinking about overall defenders in the NBA. I'm just thinking about strictly. 14. Yeah, I'm just thinking about wing defenders. 14. Yeah, I'm just thinking
Trevor
about
Ariza at that time was still considered like a really good defender, but he was out of his form at that point.
Cephalosha was around at that
time. Both and your favorite player, Robertson, was there.
Robertson, sure.
I'm taking.
On Iggy. Iggy was there.
I'm taking Paul George
over Iggy at that time.
Wing defenders.
Man, so Leonard.
If we go a few years back too, though, I mean, we got Shane Battier.
Paul George.
Shane Battier was long in the tooth at that point, Ox.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why I said go a few years back.
Yeah. How far back you want to go?
I want to clarify.
11.
I'm not saying Paul George was a top 5 wing defender in the league at the time. I'm saying there isn't 5 better than him in the modern time.
Today.
Ever. You can go back to 2000 if you want. I'm saying top 5. That's what I'm saying.
Well, so Bruce Bowen.
He was top 5 in 14.
Kawhi Leonard,
I'm saying he's top 5 of the last 25 years.
Kawhi Leonard, Bruce Bowen, Tony Allen, Ron Artest.
You're throwing guards in there.
Okay. So Ron Artest.
Okay.
And then Bruce Bowen. He was a forward.
Okay.
Now we can talk about Shane Battier.
Shane Battier.
We can talk about.
And then on top of that, Trevor Ariza, Tayshaun Prince.
Okay.
And then let's just keep. We're just going all the way back to 2000.
Doug Christie.
No, he was better.
No, not Doug Christie.
I'm taking Paul George over all these guys you've said.
Really?
I'm just
respect Doug Christie.
I'm letting you guys just say names. I want to
I don't know. Bruce Bowen was freaking nice.
I'm not taking Paul George over Bruce Bowen. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you guys to. I'm not.
I know what you're saying.
I'm just telling we did this on Open Gym. The names I said was LeBron, Kawhi, Ron Artest. I think I went back to Scottie Pippen. And then I said Paul George.
Scottie Pippen in 2000?
No, because I was saying the modern era. I was saying the 3-point line. But I went 2000.
No way.
So no Andre Karolinko?
No.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know how I felt about Andre Karolinko in terms of a wing. I don't know. But yeah.
Andre Karolinko was prison.
I'm not listening to Sidney Moncrief. I'm sorry. I'm just not. So
in this 3-point line was what year? 67?
80.
87? 80?
79, 80. 79, 80 was when it was implemented the first time. We got it.
But AK was just a positional thing. I didn't know how I felt about him positionally. But AK would be one I would consider. I'm not clinging on to top 5, but that's the realm he's in for me.
So
someone
definitely
says,
Kawhi.
I got him 7. I'm like,
definitely Scottie.
Kawhi and Scottie, yes. Kawhi, Scottie, LeBron. 3, yes. Ron Artest, yeah.
So that's 4.
Yeah.
That's 4 with Ron Artest.
Yes.
So then you're saying guaranteed for you is fifth.
I'm
PG.
pretty sure I'd have him fifth. Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Bro,
And we're talking all time. Is that correct, Mars?
Since
the 1980.
Oh,
Yeah.
since the 3-point line came in. I ain't taking. I'm not taking Paul George over Bobby Jones. I'm not.
Well, even Dennis Rodman and some of those line of construction.
Definitely not taking him over Dennis.
I'm
Rodman.
not considering Dennis Rodman a wing either. That's like.
Well, but early on though, he was a wing.
He was skinny. I'm still not calling him a wing.
In fact,
what are your thoughts on Michael Cooper?
He was a wing defender though. Mars.
I'm not taking any defenders from the 80s. I've already said that. I'm just not. If you're talking about the skill of defense,
no Michael Cooper. Okay.
No Michael Cooper, no Sidney Moncrief, no Michael.
What's your problem with the wing defenders in the 80s? Is it because the long ball line got stretched? Because the long ball line was going on, Mars.
The game was too different for me to say.
Hey, chill. I got a fifth name right here that Mars will absolutely say he would take over PG. Jonathan Isaac.
He's not a wing. He's not a wing.
Oh.
He's not a wing. He's not a wing. He's not a wing. But like that's why when I say modern era, I understand as being 1980. Yeah. But if we're comparative the skill set, for me, a 2014 skilled defender is going to be more skilled than a 1985 defender.
Somebody brought up Ben
because
Simmons,
you just have to do more. Ben Simmons also isn't a wing, but he's not better than Paul George. But I'm not like it's just different.
A wing. He played point guard.
Yeah, he played the lead guard, Mars.
Since when is a point guard a wing?
No, but I'm on the wing. J.J. Redick was on the roster. Like he wasn't defending.
He's not a wing. He did defend point guards.
No, but I know, but he was also defending like primary, like LeBron and all that.
I don't think he's better than Paul George. So again, I don't think he's a wing. But still, even as a wing, I don't think he's better than Paul George.
So is Paul George right now, respectfully, a wing defender, which typically is 2 through 4. There's 2 through 4.
Yeah.
So then
one
he's
through
better.
4.
I thought it was 1 through 3. Actually,
it's one. A wing defender's 1 through 3.
But just to be clear, when NBA scouts talk about a wing, they typically are referencing 2 through 4. But wing defenders can also fall into 1. So I'm for Mars's example, because I don't want to have any more players that get knocked off this list. Sure, I'm gonna take all ones out just for his list.
Well, yeah, I'm not. If you give me Jason Kidd or Gary Payton, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so no lead guards.
But even right now, Alex Caruso is a 2. Do you think Alex Caruso at his best, or Paul George at his best, is a better wing defender than Alex Caruso?
Yes.
And you love you some Alex.
I do, but like I guess. Because this is the thing. When I say something like this, I do think when you're on the show, but I'm like in my mind when I think wing defender. Yes, positionally, I'm with you. When I think wing defender, I'm thinking 6'7", 6'8" guys. That's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
So Scottie Pippen.
So when I hear Caruso, even though Caruso can guard 1 through 3 and some 4s, I don't think wing defender because he's 6'4".
Wait, but Jonathan
in
Isaac
my mind, that's what I don't think.
Jonathan Isaac is 6'11", isn't he?
He's 6'11".
Yeah, Jonathan
Isaac, he's 6'11".
Yeah.
Nah, man, he's 6'9". He's 6'9". He's 6'9".
I don't consider Giannis a wing defender. I don't consider Jonathan Isaac is not 6'9". I promise you.
It says 6'10", but he's 6'9".
He can be listed at whatever. He's 6'11". He's 6'11". Like in my mind, like this is why I say like the term wing. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. But when I said the thing about what I said about Paul George, my mind just went 6'7" to 6'9", 10.
Just wing
like in my mind, that's just how I viewed it. So when I said that, I wasn't thinking about Jason Kidds or Caruso's or Drew Holidays.
Take the league guards
or like that's so. When
wait a minute, hold on, time out. Look, but Mars, because I want to get this straight because I want to make sure I have all the names. So Scottie Pippen for sure.
Yes.
Ron Artest for sure.
Ron Artest wasn't for sure, but I had him. Yes.
Okay. Kawhi Leonard for sure.
Yes, Kawhi.
You said LeBron 11 to 13. Right? Yeah. 12, 13.
Yeah.
Is Jordan a part of that list, Mars? If Leonard is on it?
No.
But you know how I feel about Jordan versus Kawhi.
He's not going to put Jordan on that list.
That's why I brought it up.
So, Sean Marion.
No, we had that discussion on Open Gym. No, I'm taking Paul George.
Okay, so no Sean Marion. And then you said Andre Kirilenko, even though he was 6'9".
Yeah, Kirilenko I just didn't, because he's more of like, he's a Roma, like, secondary rim protector. Like, it was just, if you want to have Kirilenko, I'm fine with Kirilenko. So that would make Paul George go 6. So I'm fine with Kirilenko. I'm fine with that because he was weird. I don't know. He was.
Now, Mars, when you think about the wing guys, and hear me out for a second, Mars. When you think about the wing guys in the 80s, right? So the game was definitely more fundamentally sound, and the way to slow a guy down is to keep the ball away from him. You got to throw him off rhythm. How do you keep the ball away from a guy? Getting in passing lanes, not just getting in passing lanes, staying close to a guy, navigating through screens, like you said. So during that era, when the big man was the most prevalent, okay, so you got big men down screening, you got big men cross screening and having to get around these screens. So now you got the long ball line. What's to say that I can't defend further than the long ball line? Because I'm able to defend to 18 feet. I'm able to defend to 20 feet because I know how to get in the passing lane. So guys like Bobby Jones, right? Guys, wing defenders like Bobby Jones, guys like that, Michael Cooper, guys like that. Having to deal with guys like Larry Bird, why wouldn't I be able at 6'6", 6'7", why wouldn't I be able to push a guy further away from the basket? Because if we're being honest, once a guy gets the ball, especially once he has it going, there's really not much that you can do. Even when you are great at navigating screens, even when you are great at getting in the passing lane, once a guy gets going, there's really not much else that you can do with him. The question I'm asking you, Mars, is how, when I'm able to throw you off rhythm and keep you off balance, which is the game is more fundamentally sound in the 80s like that, why wouldn't I be able to do that in today's game?
I just think the game is too different. Like, if I'm thinking about, if you can chase guys to 17 feet, you could theoretically do it to 22. But then you're opening up more space behind you, which means if you get beat, that there's more ground for you to cover. And then I'm looking at guys from the 80s. Bobby Jones is someone who I thought about because I do think he's one of the best defenders of all time relative to his time. But when I'm talking about skill, I'm just not going to include guys from the 80s. Bobby Jones at 6'9", 6'10" with some of the longest arms I've ever seen, by the way. I don't know what the hell his wingspan was.
Great transition. Great transition.
But like, just looking at that, and I'm like, his feet don't move as quick as guys today. His feet don't move as quick as Paul George. But they didn't have to because it was a different game and guys weren't as good as ball handlers back in those times. And you didn't have to switch as much because you're going under ball screens. It's just a different game. So when I thought modern era, like technically it's back to 1980, but in my mind, I wasn't considering anyone from the 80s. Like the furthest I was going back was Scottie Pippen.
So you think?
But I'm fine with saying 1980. I would have the conversation, but I think Ron Artest
wouldn't you say even at its apex though, PG was like maybe a step better than Trevor Ariza though? Like he wasn't. Because Trevor was a lockdown defender for about 7 years.
To me, he's multiple.
I don't think him and Trevor Ariza are close.
But like
close.
I want to
like which way? Which way?
I think Paul George is leaps and bounds better than Trevor Ariza.
But in the 2000s, Trevor Ariza was like the premier wing defender, though. Shane Battier, and Bruce Bowen, and then Kobe obviously was in the convo, but he wasn't really.
That says more about how that era's over.
Nah, bro, Trevor was cold.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I want to clarify once again. I'm not hard fought to top 5. Top 5 was something I said off the cuff, and then we thought
definitely
about
top 10 though. Definitely top 10.
For me, top 10 isn't even a discussion. Like if someone says, "I got him 7," you're crazy. I'm not mad at like top 5 was something I said off the cuff.
How far is Herb Jones away?
That's another one I was thinking because Herb Jones is ridiculous. The things he does for New Orleans is crazy as a defender.
So maybe a couple years from now, like when he's like full man body and all that.
Maybe possibly. Like so, I'm not hard fought to top 5. It was more so me, trying to tell people.
How far is Peyton Watson?
Okay, buddy.
Don't do that.
Fellas, we gotta move on.
But this wasn't.
Now we gotta move on.
So
as soon as I bring up something that I think might be important.
You brought up because I know Julian Strother's on the way. And
no.
It's gonna be Julian and Christian Brown next. And I'm
Peyton Watson's already the best defender in his class. Talk about it.
Join way.